So, if you're a brand new viewer, this is first and foremost a music show, but we are kind of talking about putting good energy out into the world, being a better person, and I think that one of the reasons that that's so important to me now is because when I think back about the person that I was in the past, I'm not super proud of it. And I think getting sick changed things for me. But, I think most people grow up and think back about themselves in the past and are not crazy about it. But for me, it carries some legitimate shame. Not because of, any one thing, but it was more just that I didn't take care of myself and I didn't have my shit together.
Smoke a little hash before the pub crawl, lifting up your skirt in the bathroom stall. I don't know how I'm gonna forget about this town. You pull a gun on me and have your troops around. Say pack up fast, be gone by sundown. I guess you won, 'cause this is your town now. With your guns a-blazing, chase me out of town. I don't know how I could ever go back now. You can claim your innocence, but we both know you stole that crown. All of my conquests, all my memories, all of my worst mistakes, all my enemies are yours. I don't think I want 'em back.
Going to Keene in 2009 for college was very important to me, and it still is to this day. It's a very important experience that happened to me. But it's tough for me to think back upon it because it truly is, a thing I see as a failure, but also it's just a difficult thing for me to think back on. Let's set the scene a little bit. We're talking Keene, New Hampshire, 2009. I thought it was very funny that everyone was doing these 10-year challenges this week because this is what we're talking about 10 years ago. I'll throw some pictures in of me in 2009. I hate looking at pictures of myself before I got sick. I feel like it's a different person. That's obviously just because I have gone through some trauma that clearly I haven't reconciled with yet, but also just because I think back about that guy as a different person. Setting the stage, I got to Keene in my stepfather Bill's minivan, and I got out on, I'm not sure what the road is called anymore, I can't remember. I think it's got a court name, something like that. I got out, my freshman dorm, Carl Hall, was standing right in front of me, and I got in line to check myself in. And the first person I met was George Barber, who viewers of this show know is a really talented songwriter, but more importantly, of the friends that I have, he is the best of them.
I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger.
He's just this really important figure in my life, and he was very much like a a mentor for me through the Keene music scene. He introduced me to Mark Peralt. He introduced me to Adam Hogue. And he introduced me to Lena Bearcat, the owner of the club that we all ended up playing, the Starving Artist. And the Starving Artist was my home. I loved that place. And it was very cool to be able to go out every night, be able to see a band, and it was what I had always wanted. I always wanted to live in an area like that had a thriving music scene, and this place did.
I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes.
And it was just a really great time in my life. That being said, knowing what I do now, I knew I was a year into having Lyme disease. And I was wicked sick all the time, and I didn't think anything of it because I was like, I'm partying and drinking and doing drugs. Of course I'm, X, Y, and Z. So I kind of brushed that off. This was a time in my life where like I had the electricity shut off in my apartment, not because I didn't have the money, just because I didn't have my shit together enough to pay the bill. So like, that's what I think of when I think of myself in Keene. I think of a fucking shithead. And so I'm not crazy about that. That being said, it's also so important because of this music, because of the things that came out of it. I kind of ran away scared from Keene.
That we should run, that we should run, that we should run, that we should run.
I dropped out of school. The girl that I was dating at the time broke up with me. Tombstone, was playing drums for the Mild Revolution at the time, graduated that year. Josh Hallengren, who was playing bass for the Mild Revolution, graduated that year, and I was kind of lost. I was like, I don't have a band anymore. I don't have a reason for being here anymore. The Starving Artist closed. I'm out of here. So I retreated to Wolfboro and never went back.
If you need the pain, well you are, yes you are, so much like me. Seasons change, nothing lasts for long, except the earth and the mountains. So learn to sing along in language here.
I think that life is full of these types of things you can't change. Oh, hi. Just for clarification, the rules with this show and time travel are this. Even if you were capable of doing so, you should not. There are things that we hold dear. We're happy with who we are now. We're spreading good energy throughout the world. We're being better people. And, when we think back on the things that we want to change in life, the truth of the matter is there's no going back. But even if there was, if you were capable of time travel, going back and changing something that you just carry so much shame about and can't forget it, you should not. Because ultimately, it's too detrimental to your present and future that you hold dear. What if you were to come back and find out that you're not married to Sarah anymore? If you want a reading, see readings, Flashpoint Paradox. So, bit is this. You don't go back in time, best to just leave it. So yeah, rule of this show, you can't go back in time and change anything. It'll mess up your future timeline. Just so we've cleared that up. Also, shame is a thing that you carry through your whole life. Hopefully you can suppress it enough to continue on, do your day-to-day. More importantly, become a better person, become better for it.
Close your eyes, sunshine. I know the pain in your past, but the past ain't a problem as long as it's behind you. And I am in front of it, dark blue.
Ha ha ha!